Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, I've heard a lot of dumb arguments in my time. I literally spend hours every single day breaking down leftist talking points and arguments, so obviously it comes with the territory. But I really think there's no dumber argument than the copium that is, only white people can be racist. Racism is actually an equation of prejudice plus power. I turned it into a math equation, therefore it's big-brained. The social studies way of thinking. It's absolutely delightful, isn't it? Racism is racism no matter what direction, no matter where it's coming from, no matter what the group dynamic is. Discrimination and prejudice is simply discrimination and prejudice. And while the left wants you to believe that it doesn't exist coming from a certain side, the simple reality is that it's actually abundant. It's happening constantly, and in many cases, out in the open. I have a great example for you guys today as a Texas teacher was exposed by some Twitter users. Let's just say this person's personality is lovely. Well, thanks to the work of some internet heroes as usual, this individual who was literally teaching children has been rightly removed from the classroom. We gotta talk about this one. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, welcome to the world that leftist politics is creating. More division and more hate. Breaking, Texas quote black supremacist teacher fired by school board after quote racist post. So people on the internet were doing some digging into this character named Claire Kyle, who went on this ridiculous Twitter tirade about her sister. Here's the first post. Woke up to my sister being the biggest disappointment I've ever seen. Look at the color of the arm wrapped around my sister. My poor sis laid up with a pasty in my effing house. I'm inconsolable. How many white classmates does she have? My sis letting all of Europe take turns on her. The disappointment I feel right now, our parents raised us better than this. This girl spent all of her dowry and now laid up with a white. Her sister writes, yes, my classmate Matt is here, just FYI. She responds, that's the guy in the black truck? Yup. He white? All of them are. LMAO. Here's a video of her describing her intentions.
So, y'all already know why I'm having a bad day. My sister is a cave dweller smasher. In my house. On this land? I just want to let y'all know that I'm about to do everything in my power to this relationship up. And it's gonna be so fun and so satisfying to watch.
And some more text messages that, by the way, she's posting voluntarily to her own Twitter. Talk about self-snitching. Had to call my man for backup. I can't believe she has this cave dweller in my freaking house. Did she introduce y'all? No, she didn't. Oh my god. I'm trying to stay calm. She knows I'm racist. Lol, that man look like a straight up Trump supporter. Come and end him for me, Dre. I promise I'll help you hide the body. Bring all 4 of your weapons. So obviously you can tell that it's getting extreme. She keeps going on. Like, I'm baffled AF seeing a white man in my house. I can't believe it. This is supposed to be a black person house only. I'm so mad right now, but I also don't want to cause a scene and embarrass her. I don't know what to do right now. Here are some more of her posts. Well, actually, let's start off with her Twitter bio. I'm 29 and just got fine. Queen pick me and logical for free. Pro-black men, black supremacist. Here are a couple posts. Why shouldn't I hate white people? Why should I show y'all any love at all? Name a big historic moment where white people did anything for black people out of the kindness of y'all's heart. As if white Americans didn't literally fight a war to end slavery. I would not give a damn if a white person had what my bio says because we already know y'all are evil people, so it's right on brand. And there are definitely white pages on here with my bio and worse. A white man? A good dude? You smoking crack? And then here's the craziest revelation after all of these posts being made publicly. She writes, today's the first day of school, can't wait to see all of my new students. Chilling in my class while Twitter thinks they can take my safe and secured. So gloating about her, lovely opinions. But of course, they don't play these kinds of games in Texas. Mesquite ISD quickly released a post. At approximately 4 p.m. yesterday, Mesquite ISD became aware of a series of alarming racist statements posted to the X, formerly Twitter, account of a teacher at Thompson Elementary. Upon learning of the situation, our personnel staff began an immediate investigation. As of this morning, the employee is no longer part of the Mesquite ISD organization and is not eligible for rehire. Due to privacy restrictions, Mesquite ISD cannot comment on the details of personnel matters. Nevertheless, the highly offensive statements posted to her X account do not reflect the values and standards of Mesquite ISD, and the district condemns them in the strongest terms. I'm glad the right thing was done in this situation, but what I find troubling is that a lot of people don't seem to understand how prevalent this is. In the age of identity politics, in the age of grievance ideology, Prussian Olympics, whatever you want to call it, this kind of thing is becoming more and more prevalent. In today's, let's call it, ideological dynamic, especially coming from the left, we see this very perverse sort of way of thinking. The first is this concept of oppression Olympics, where there's this pride and identity, where how low you're perceived on the pyramid of privilege, the higher social currency you have based on victim status. And then, of course, this sort of open season thinking, this justified extreme bigotry aimed towards white Europeans. It's become a core tenet of leftist ideology. It's what they believe, it's what they justify, and it's what they put out there in the public conversation. It's quickly becoming an ideology of hate, a disturbing reemergence of a historical trend that never ends well. Call me crazy, say I'm a kook, say I'm exaggerating, but this is how genocides start. Look at what's happening in South Africa, for instance, which, by the way, is being justified by American leftists. President of South Africa himself was recently caught singing a song named End the Boer referring to, I believe, white people or white farmers, essentially singing a song advocating for the genocide of white farmers and white people in general in South Africa, and all kinds of American leftist publications released headlines saying that the song is being misinterpreted or it's not meant to be taken literally, when it's literally, like, what he's saying, the sentence is, take the lives, I'm paraphrasing that part because I don't want to say the actual word, the Boer, meaning the white man. We ought to be careful with this stuff, The left likes to believe that there's a justification behind the thinking because of previous harms and previous historical tragic truths, let's call it. But in what universe is justifying this kind of behavior, is normalizing this kind of behavior, in some cases teaching this kind of behavior, not only acceptable, but in what universe does this sort of, let's call it a countermeasure, lead to something positive? There's a lot of this resentment-based ideology, this hateful ideology being promoted in the mainstream. Just watch MSNBC for a day. Former host Tiffany Cross, Joyanne Reid, Eli Mistel, the list goes on. It's getting more extreme, more hateful, but it's marketed as progressive social justice thinking. It's not. It's simply wrong, and it's simply racism. That's what it is. And it should not be excused, justified, or tolerated, regardless of the race dynamic. Racism isn't prejudice plus power. Racism is hateful ideology, discrimination, bigotry towards a group of color or an individual based simply on the color of their skin. And here's yet again another example of what the left wants you to believe doesn't exist. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. That we'd love to have you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.